Hello and welcome to Jamie's Motion Graphics. Today we're doing a tutorial on Radial Wipe, which is one of the many tools available to us in After Effects. I will be discussing the main use of it, how it works, and also what you can use it for, but obviously it's up to your creativity to make something beautiful out of it. Okay, let's start with a new composition here in After Effects. We're going to just call it Comp 1, it doesn't really matter. And we are going to work with a normal solid here, because, well, why not? So we're going to try to get some concept of, well, how to use this effect, Radial Wipe. There you go. So I'm going to do more of these effects. If you have any suggestions of what I should do, don't hesitate to put it in the comments and I will definitely pay attention to those. So we're going to make a radial wipe and just let's see what it looks like first. So currently it's a 0%, and if we go that way, then at 100% it's back to the original background color. So yeah, the whole thing is, what do I do with this? So currently it is 0. You can use this in several ways. So let's first do the standard stuff. So the standard stuff would look like this. You would animate, or well, set this to 100% at 0, and then go to like 1 second and set this to 0. Right? That's how everyone uses this. So you basically say, yeah, it wipes on, and if you want to do it the other way around, just do that. So there you go. So yeah, very spectacular, right? And then you can even wipe it off by saying, yeah, let's animate the wipe here and bring up the properties. So we're going to just set that over here, and then we're going to wait for a little bit, set that back to clockwise. Hang on, which side are we going now? Yeah, so this one. And now we're going to clockwise, and we're setting this to 0 once again. And then 1 second, or whatever later, it's going to be 100. So yeah, we wipe on our color, and then we wipe it off in the same direction. That's how you do that. It's as easy as that. You can, obviously, because there's a stopwatch in front of it, you can change this from clockwise to counterclockwise. And yeah, it's a boolean, so that's why there are like these squares. So it's either the one or the other. It's never something in between. So yeah, is this really the only thing you can do with it? Well, obviously not, or I wouldn't have asked. So this is one of the things that you can do with it. But my favorite thing that I found so far is a completely different application. It is this. I used it in the radar tutorial for those of you interested in what it looks like in real life. So just search for the radar one and you can see it. So I make this 90%, which means I have a very small amount here. I'm going to set this to 0. I'm going to animate the start angle and say that in 2 seconds I need to have a full sweep. So I'm going to set it to 1. I don't know which side it sweeps to. Yeah, this is the right side. So currently, if I play this, you can see what it does. It's really just a radar sweep. And it will rotate exactly to this point again because, well, I said 1. And you can also, of course, address the fact that we have this 10% going off. So maybe you want to start at -18 and end at +18. So, oh, hang on. And at -18 as well. So now it starts at the top and ends at the top. And you can even do something like this. Like you can just go to the effect and just say, okay, I have 360 degrees. And I want that to be done in, let's say, 6 seconds. No, let's say less. Let's say 2 seconds. So I'm going to take time times 360 divided by 2. So every second it will rotate 180 degrees. That's how you should read that. And it will look like this. But it will not stop here, it will just continue on going. And for the radar animation, this was very useful because I don't have to set keyframes, I don't have to do anything. I can just set this to a number and that's it. And then the 2 in this case is the number of seconds that I have to complete the circle. And of course you can wipe the other way. I already showed you that. So there's one more thing I should show you, and that is the both here. For the both I need to turn off this this equation here. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to delete it and we can do it manually. So let's see what it actually does. It just wipes on from both directions at the same time. Let's start at 0 again. It wipes on from both sides at the same time, and that can result in a very cool effect. It's twice as fast, so keep that in mind. So it looks twice as fast, but it also is, because you don't really have to go through the entire region. You can't animate the start angle. That's why, because the start angle only changes this. So yeah, that doesn't do anything for this. That's why I needed to shut it off. But yeah, it's a really cool effect for certain things. Like, yeah, I don't know what you can think of this, but like an alien type scan, if you wipe it on and then you wipe it off straight afterwards. Okay, so for an alien type radar, you would have something like this. It would start from top to bottom, and then it would, well, get 2 of these surge beams that meet in the bottom and, yeah, basically disappear. Yeah, with my expression I only get 1. Obviously you can reset it and go again. But yeah, this one is 100 minus time times something. You can set the speed here basically, so it's 50 currently. And the other one is 100 minus time times 50 plus 30, the 30 being the width of the beam. So yeah, this is, so at this point we reach 30, and then the next one is going to start. So yeah, it's really an easy expression to understand. It's just that yeah, you need to understand how these expressions work, and then it's fairly easy, or at least it should be. But yeah, these kind of effects can be made as well, although most people just stick to what they know and what they see on the internet. That's basically the main thing, which is something that I will demonstrate now as well. So what most people know is this. You take the mask, you duplicate it, you go to the you make it subtract, and you go to this and put it down a little bit, and then let's see what's actually left. Hey, it's a line! Who knew, right? So if we start at 0 and wipe counterclockwise, this is what it would look like. So yeah, most people just use these things for wiping on circles and things like that. You can also, of course, just instead of all this mask bullcrap, you can just go and take your first mask, make it a none instead of a add or subtract. Just add stroke to it and do it that way. Of course, with the shape layers, you have some more options here, because you can turn your line into something else. And then we're going to follow the mask here, and then go to put a radial wipe on the mask. So you can put a stroke on your well, before your wipe, and then it will look like this, which means we still need to remove the green color, which is fairly easy to do. We just make a new mask by double clicking on this, set it to subtract, and since this is a non-mask and the stroke isn't counted as a color, all that's left that is a line. But you can make this with a shape layer just as easily. The advantage of a shape layer being that you don't have to stick with a line with straight edges and things like that. But if you like that, then this is the way to do it. Just add stroke, remove your background color, or just color your layer in the color of your background, and you will be fine. So all in all, yeah, the radial wipe effect is just a very versatile, very useful effect, and if you combine it with the right layers, you can definitely make some very cool stuff. So let's take a shape layer and let's actually see what that is all about. So let's make a mask. You can, by the way, do it on rectangles as well. Let's take a rectangle. just for the fun of it. And we're going to put the radial wipe on this. So on our shape layer, there you go. We're going to say transition complete, well, 0 to, no, 100 to 0. Oh, apparently I have 2 now. That's a little bit too many. Yeah, so let's set this to 0, to 100, and then let's set it to 0 right here. And that means it's just wiping on. Let's deselect that. And now here comes the beauty of the shape layer, I guess. If we go into the options of the shape layer, so we go to content, rectangle, and then the stroke, we can actually delete the fill because we don't need it for this. We can up the stroke thing, but that's something we could already do. And if we hit round cap here and we add dashes, then we can actually get some pretty nice effects going, such as this. I can also add a gap effect, so let's set this to 0. We'll make actual balls out of this. There you go. So you can actually wipe on the balls instead of just a line. So it becomes a little more interesting. You can of course animate these as well while the wipe is going on, and that becomes even more interesting. But yeah, the advantages of a shape layer are actually discussed in the shape layer tutorial. Yeah, you wouldn't have guessed, right? So if you want to hear more on shape layers, just go there. But yeah, remember that you can just wipe on with radial wipes as well as linear wipes, anything that that you want. So linear wipes work exactly the same. Let's remove this one. It's just that instead of it being instead of it being a circle around the midpoint, it's now a line from, well, in this case left to right, but you can of course change that to wipe other directions. More on that in the light sweep tutorial. Light wipe, I think I called it. And yeah, I used it there to animate some text onto the screen, and that was pretty nice. And yeah, just you can do a whole lot with these wipes, and just enjoy them. And if you make something beautiful, post it in the comments so we can all see it. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, and I will see you next time.